And it crashed. Awesome. I'll give that another try. Okay, looks like it's working. All right. Well, here we go. Let's go ahead and kick things off. I usually will spend maybe up to an hour on this. We had a lot of submissions this time around, so I guess people liked the first episode that we did last week. So as a reminder, my name is Jason Kirby. I am the founding and managing director of Thunder.vc. We're a tech-enabled platform that enables people to identify which VCs to focus on using our AI, and then we have our tech-enabled investment banking services on top of that, where we work with select companies to take them to market and help them raise capital. So what we're going to do today is we have, I think I selected randomly 10 decks that we did not cover last week and or were recently submitted in this next batch. And basically my structure, if you guys didn't see the notes on the event, is I will review each deck as if I've never seen it before, which is true. I've never seen any of these decks before. And my goal is to walk them through with my VC hat on and look at these and determine whether or not I feel they're venture backable businesses and the overall state of the deck in and of itself, to which I provide a scoring rubric, which you can find on the event description as far as 0 to 5. Basically 0 meaning I don't feel you put any effort into it at all and, go back to ground zero. 5 meaning like you're ready to go to VCs today and you're very fundable. So that said, what I'll do is I'll share my screen to get things started. And we have a chat, both, we're live on LinkedIn. It looks like people are trickling pretty quickly. You're welcome to add questions to LinkedIn. If you have questions, ask them here. And also on the live stream, from those that RSVP'd in advance, you have the ability to ask questions in the bottom right-hand corner of the little chat box. But let's go ahead and dive into our first deck. And I apologize if I don't get to your deck today. It's just, there's a lot of decks that we had submitted. And I try to kind of give it to priority of, who submits first and who do we get to and whatnot. But hopefully everyone understands if we don't get to your deck. But nonetheless, there's valuable insights I'll be providing as much as possible on every deck that I review. So looks like now it looks like we're live. Great. So the first one, plastic recycled. So one caveat here is I did actually see this person present at another event I was a panelist at. So just so happens that this is the first one, but I have a little bit of context, so I'm going to try to absolve that, but we'll go ahead and get through it. So first impression, I'm not necessarily seeing an impressive, title page, trash to treasure. Okay, but doesn't sound like a big investment opportunity. I'll keep going. Okay, one, try not to have any animation. I want to be able to click and go through these things fast. As a VC, we see thousands of pitch decks. We do not want to see the animation of anything. We just want to be able to click through, ideally a PDF format. So that's a no for everyone. Leadership team, cool. Nothing out here. Okay, so a mayor. Okay, that's kind of interesting, but he's a consultant, not a founder, investor, founder, director. So, okay, some West management experience, veteran. Like the team slide doesn't give me anything to be excited about. It's really important. Like, I don't want just your name and titles. That doesn't mean no good. Give me why you are awesome and why you are the people to take this business to the next level. And like, I typically like seeing team slides in the beginning for early stage companies that don't have a lot of traction to highlight, so they can highlight what makes the team special. I believe Plastic Recycle is trying to raise an A, so I'm going to also be very critical of this deck based on what they put in their notes. So I'm just going to be keeping that in mind as well. But in your team slides, you should have like a good nugget or two of information of why you're special. Previous exit, ex-employee at wherever, that's substantial. Raised money before or whatever. Name and title doesn't give me too much. Like, mayor of Bristol, okay, like that's, I don't know if that has anything to do with your business or whatnot, but I would try to give a little bit more meat without giving me like paragraphs. All right, moving on. Okay. Okay, emphasizing the importance of recycling and reducing waste, I imagine. I'm making that assumption. I don't really want to read a block of text. This is not standard from a deck perspective. Current impact. So you guys do education, collection, and products. Okay. Waiting for the kind of like venture scale opportunity. Wow, this is a very busy, not professionally designed slide. You can probably maybe highlight just the box here, make this more of a diagram of like we collect, we recycle. Oh, no, it's not really a flow. It's just, I guess, a restatement of what you did on the previous slide. Okay. And I'm feeling more like impact vibes, not so much capitalism vibes, which, there's definitely businesses that are capable of that, but, both. But, okay, education sounds expensive, sounds like things that already exist. So I'm not sure why this, company is taking on that burden, but again, don't really like reading blocks of text, so I'm not even really giving much of a shot. So just, I guess, really tripling down on the things that you've already said in previous slides. I do not need all this extra additional information. Products, okay, it looks like you repurpose the plastic into benches into high foot traffic areas. People pay to sponsor these. So this doesn't sound like a slam dunk business from a venture capital perspective. Maybe, donations or impact investors could be of interest. So, okay, I'm a little confused because I think you said on the thing that you're trying to raise a Series A. I'll try to double check that real quick. Yeah. So this doesn't. So that doesn't align. Don't know. All right. So real quick here, this is not a great deck in my opinion. Someone's saying they can't hear me. Let me double check. I think we're okay. All right. Hopefully, Projal, you can hear me. Just message again if you cannot. Maybe just check your audio settings because I do see my audio coming in. All right. Moving on from a score perspective, this is a 1, which basically means that I just don't feel this has anything to do with venture capital, and is not positioned to be so. Not to say it's possible. It's just the business as it stands today is not positioned to raise from any kind of institutional investors. And the deck is pretty poorly done. It's, cute, simple, but not something that's going to excite any kind of venture capital investors. All right, moving on to the next deck. Illuminote. All right, digitizing, registering the estate documents and agency relationships that will govern $84 trillion of great wealth transfer. Okay, so I guess like will and trust, estate documents, trust documents, that kind of stuff. I do not want to read this. Estate documents. Okay, so estate documents are, wet signature, old school, I guess. Yeah, basically an imperfect process in terms of this. So, all right, here we go. So looking at the team. So it looks like lawyers and certified financial planners. So, albeit probably esteemed in their own careers, maybe married couple or brother sister, not sure, but some kind of family ties there. So qualified as service providers, not sure this qualifies them as venture backable founders. So that'd be something that I'd probably want to see where the technology people are going to come into play. Also, like who's doing what. So although I said I don't want just titles, I do want to know who's what as far as doing what in the company. Chair, advisor, founder. So some people on the board, I guess, or advisors. Again, one thing I'm really not a huge fan of, if you have to push your advisors as like a selling point or as a point of credibility, it's concerning to VCs that you don't necessarily have the right team to execute. And also means like what's their structure, how are they incentivized, and it just creates a lot of questions that aren't really necessary at this stage in the deck. If they actively are committed to the business and they are transforming the business, maybe list one or two of them that have actually made an impact and what that impact was, but not something I usually like to see, especially in the front of the deck for advisors. Oh, is that here? Okay. Yeah, I'm not loving this design. Okay, so you're building Darcy to digitize estate plans. To me, I'm like, I don't know much. I have my own trust and will documents, but I don't necessarily have estate documents, so I don't really know maybe the difference. Mine was a very arduous and expensive process for my part, but I don't really know what makes this difference from a clearinghouse. I guess maybe just, all right, here we go. Technical, social, legal. So it eliminates forgery, fraud, undue influence. So, I guess I don't really know the scale of these problems and how persistent they are and how they plague the industry. If it's like a 0.1% of the industry or it's like everyone has to deal with these issues, I think that would be good to quantify. Also, like, so some, it's not like super impressive as far it's just like listing off bullets of what you guys intend to do, but it's not necessarily what you have done. So from a credibility standpoint, at the stage of the company, it's not impressive. All right. Don't know what you're trying to articulate by demography is destiny. I guess just that the aging population is going to be transitioning a lot of wealth. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of money is held in that. It was 84 trillion, but what does that mean for your market? Like, what percentage are you going to have? What's going to be available to you? Okay, probate filings. Probate filings suck, and that's what you want to have estates and trust and wills for, because you don't want the government to decide or the courts to decide. You want to already have it defined and easily handed over to your next of kin or whatever who's on your will or whatnot. All right, so it looks like you've already built a beta. Onboarded 35 trust. Okay, so you have some paying customers. All right. That's like, I would have led with that. I would have put that up in the front saying we have revenue, and established that. So I would also probably have some pictures of the products, because this looked more like an idea stage deck, and you're telling me they already have revenue with customers. I don't know what kind of scale or what the value of those customers are. You say paying customers, I want to know more. And the fact that you're not giving it to me makes me seem like you didn't make much, or it's not substantiated. So I guess you raised $500,000 before, launched Darcy, and you're raising another 500, so kind of an angel pre-seed round, and you want to advance in the development and so on, and then do a bigger round of the raise. So the problem missing here, I say this all the time, like, what's going to be the outcome that leads to the next round? And I just development money, advancing products, market, like, this just looks very unprofessional and not aesthetically pleasing. I'm really probably spending way too much time on this deck because I'm reviewing it publicly. I would already have kind of written this off as like the the founders here don't know how to build a pitch deck, and they haven't really kind of gone through the venture life cycle. It's not to say their business isn't possible. It doesn't mean that they can't succeed. It just means that there's probably a lot of iterations that need to happen, and there's some experience and knowledge that hasn't been met here when it comes to what's been displayed. But when it comes to these, like, what you're going to do with the money slides, don't tell me how you're going to spend the money. Tell me what you're going to do with the money that's going to lead to the following round. And this does just like, oh, we're going to get more customers. It's like, okay, cool. How are you going to get customers? How much is it going to cost to get customers? How many customers are you going to get? Because I need to understand that if you hit those metrics, which you most likely won't, you'll probably be like 25%, 50% below the mark. I need to make sure that whatever that mark is, you'll have a shot at the next round. Because it's all, this is obviously a venture model, so you have to show me that you can reach the next milestone of a capital raise with the data and the capital that you're asking for. So that's missed here. Okay, 5 million posts, sure, but I guess this is what you're going to try to do. Again, not kind of any substance here, and this is how you're going to spend the money. I don't know, just a really poorly designed deck. So I think the design is pretty bad across the board. Like this deck is not ready to ship, and from like a cold perspective, if you already have a relationship with a VC or an investor, maybe because they're going to give it more of a shot, like I was doing because I'm reviewing it live. But I probably would have given up on the first couple pages. Like, no, not interested. So this deck needs to be completely revisited. The messaging and strategy needs to be revisited. And it needs to, kind of really articulate what this business is going to achieve with the perspective of what a VC wants to see. So keep that in mind, and that goes for everyone. All right, moving on to the next. Oh, I give it probably like a 1 or a 2. Like I see some potential. I know the pain. Like my estate process sucked. It took forever. There was all kinds of shit that happened in it. And if there's a better, faster, easier way to do it, by all means. But I just didn't really feel that this deck told that story effectively. All right, moving on to AlphaSearch. Co-founder. Okay, whatever. Just title slide. Doesn't tell me anything what it is. Don't waste the slide. Give me a little tagline. Give me a little bit of something, some kind of teaser, so I can contextualize what I'm about to read and spend time on. I feel like every slide should have a point and matter, even the title slide. Identifying potential development opportunities. I guess this means M&A bankers are struggling to find who they could potentially sell and or buy, I guess. Basically browsing. Look, I've been in this position. I looked at acquiring businesses and selling businesses, so pretty familiar with this process. It is arduous. It is very manual. It's very relationship oriented and access oriented. Case efficiency and harness data. So claiming to have AI, places all those companies in a database. So basically it's sourcing any and all businesses and providing it into a natural search SQL database. I'm not sure if SQL is the best choice from a database architecture, but I wouldn't know. And significant. Okay, so basically identifying like, hey, we've done a bunch of research on a million different things. An investor, this is your criteria. Take a look at this. So not far off from part of our tech at Thunder. Crawling internet data to deliver edge. So don't know if I need actual pictures of spiders, guys. That just looks kind of silly. Very unprofessional in my opinion. We know what spiders and web crawlers are. We do not need a picture of an actual spider. It's just weird. So Google, okay, so some basic data. There's a lot more data sources I would expect to see here. These are, nothing crazy. I would probably expand to find a broader scope of data and how you're going to standardize that data and what makes you guys special in doing so, what makes you capable of doing so. Discover industry trends. Okay, so med spa industry. So if I'm, I guess, a buyer in the med spa industry, I would probably give a little more context here. Like, I guess this is an example of what you guys could provide or you scrape. So I'm a little confused. This doesn't mean anything. This is like, you're going to predict what? Like, what's going to be an outcome? Show me an outcome. This is all just like theoretical, super unproven in my opinion where we're at. All right, so 18,000 PE firms, 5,000 public companies, 130 million what? $130 million, 130 million company, 130 million people, just 130 million. Give me something here. Don't know what this is. Dollars, billion. It's a lot. Okay, this is getting pretty bad. I'm kind of like interested in learning what you're actually doing, but the execution in your deck is pretty amateur and disappointing for the most part. So that's something to kind of bear in mind. I hate being harsh like that, but that's just kind of my opinion. All right, moving on. Proprietary technology and expertise. Database of private companies. Okay, so you're going to build the database by scraping the internet. Great. You haven't talked about how you're going to make an AI, what makes your AI special, or what you take into consideration. Kind of a blanket term. Source code. There's a bunch of other big data scraping websites and data sources out there. Extractions, other ones that all kind of do something similar that people are already using today and pay lots of money for. So it's not to say that someone couldn't come in and do it better, but there's a lot of solutions that are already engraved in the the ecosystem that are hard to sell. Sure. That, yeah, again, you're just like, again, a poorly executed deck. Like, you're not really, you're just saying these are competitors. Well, okay, then what are you going to do differently? What makes you special? How are you going to win? What's your moat? All these questions go completely answered. Great, you're constantly adding new sources. Well, so is everyone else. And predictive analytics for revenue forecasting, profitability modeling. I don't know how you get some of that data, but I would be interested in seeing what that actually looks like, showing me that you are capable of executing on it. Go to market plan, approach firms, actively market. Like, these are not go-to-market strategy. These are bullets on a slide. Founding team, PE investor, entrepreneur, former CFO. So, okay, looks interesting. Looks like you could be qualified. I just don't see any particular outcomes. So it's not always important on a team slide, but I would like to see kind of, it's clearly you've been in this space, or this CEO has been in the space to some degree in the finance world and so on. So probably he's dealt with the problem personally. This is definitely a deck that needs to be presented, it seems like. So just to kind of give it a little more chance. So seeking 500K, safe round, no cap listed. Maybe you're not ready for a cap or don't have cap ready. And team has already invested 200K in technology. Okay, so you put some money in through a note. Whatever. You don't really need to disclose that at this stage. It only hurts you. All right, yeah. So I don't know. I know kind of the industry. I know the space. I wouldn't be against a solution that works, but there's nothing in here that indicates that you guys are the people that are capable of making something work versus the companies that already have all the data and tons of money to, stack an AI on top of their existing infrastructure. So I would say this one's going to have a really hard time convincing VCs that it's worth a gamble to bet on. And yeah, I'd give it a 2 just from the standpoint of like, there's some pieces here that could be interesting, but the deck needs a complete work through, and probably the overall strategy needs to be thought through more. So very, very early, in my opinion, too early for venture. All right, moving on. Axiom Finance, autonomous wealth management, breaking the traditional broker and robo-advisor mold with an innovative peer-to-peer wealth management platform. Full transparency, I've heard many, many companies come through Thunder and just through the grapevine, all trying to tackle a similar, I would say, solution. So, we'll see where this one goes. Oh, God. Okay, so I have to scroll. Got it. Okay. Problems, the average person is completely unprepared for the current risk. And then, okay, very insurance can, yeah, everyone's worried about money. Okay. Some memes, I guess. So be careful. Like, anytime I hear all-in-one solution at like a pre-seed stage, I'm usually just like concerned for a variety of reasons. And the reason I am is just because it's really hard to do everything all at once. And it usually requires a ton of capital before there's any kind of notable traction or progress. And that's, a deterrent. So I just see all in one and I kind of get, hesitant. And to get all the compliance, records and all that kind of stuff, it's, very difficult. So all depositors can meet their goals while mitigating risk. We're building on a new. There's a lot to read. I would try to get these much shorter, like 3 to 4 words per box, or reformat this. I don't want to read it. It's just too many. Don't play the fractional reserve game. So you are a bank, goal-oriented, invested. Okay, so you're investing. Okay, so bank, investing, deposits, agree with users. So you exist. That is just a lot to read, and I didn't want to read it. Just how it's laid out and how it's being communicated. Again, it's not dialed in. It's not ready, in my opinion. Probably use of multiple front ends so we can license our all right, markets. Okay, licensing the product as well. Individual broker wanted to run a front end seller. Okay, so it's a white label. No wealth management. So I can't tell you what you are. That's a problem. okay, so your B2B, B2C, looks like some mock-ups here, not a live product. Portfolio management, automated hedging, all-in-one, credit card. So I guess banking as a service that maybe has its own B2C focused place as well as sells to other banks or brokers or advisors or something. We can also integrate with blockchain. Okay, we also do this. Just, guys, be careful with like, we're going to do all of this, we're going to have all of this, and we're going to make all of this integrate with everything. Like, when I see that kind of stuff, it just shows that, and especially if that's core to your model, like what's going to make you guys capable of doing all that? Plus, what are you going to do in the interim to kind of win customers and show growth and be able to get to the next stage to fund that level of integration and development? So I'm just seeing a lot of like, we're going to do everything and it's going to be perfect and we're not going to have any mistakes and we're awesome. And that's just a hard thing to kind of continue reading through and believe. Okay, so take 50 bips, not charging for KYC. I don't know how long your partner will do KYC for free, but I'd be concerned. And you expect a profit of $600 to 600 to 700,000 or 600,000 to 700,000 profit. I would like to, and your CAC is $52. Okay. Sure. And over 20 years, yeah, I see, banks, people are sticky, but these new neobanks and stuff like that, do they really have the stickiness like traditional banks? I don't know. This seems pretty lofty and kind of, confusing a little bit. Cash flow model example. So I find it hard to believe you're going to be making just under 10% in total of total assets under management. These numbers don't compute for me. And that you're going to expect every user to have this much money. That seems like a lot. And that you're going to have to be going after like, the upper middle class, Americans and getting, I guess you're saying only 10,000, but I just also don't see how you make 270 million on that. Typically we're talking basis points or like a point or two, but you're talking 10 points or close to it. So again, just having a really hard time just believing anything in this deck. I haven't seen anything that's credible. Sure, you want to target these people and you have no definitive strategy. You're just listing bullets of ideas. You haven't proven anything. Axiom Finance, competitive fee structure, reliable. I don't know how it's competitive fee structure when your revenue is almost 10% of assets under management. We're better than trade fees. Okay. These are all just theoreticals. You have a proprietary formula with tested with real money. So, okay, is this like a DeFi project that you're projecting like 80% returns? Okay, I didn't see that anywhere in the deck. Maybe I just didn't read it because I didn't. Okay, okay, cryptic team, hard pass, hard pass, done. Not even moving forward. The fact that you don't have to list anyone's name and it's like a DeFi thing, I'm completely out. I'm not even going to read this deck any further. I'm out. And I think I just realized that it's like 1,000 more pages. So this deck is done. I give it a 0. There's lack of trust, no transparency, incoherent, moving on. Sorry for those that are representative of that deck. I don't know who you are because I didn't see your faces, but I am not impressed and think you guys will have a massive uphill battle. Again, I go off the fact that I am not knowing anything about you, your business, your strategies outside of what's in this deck, and I have no personal relationship with you. So I apologize if I'm harsh, but I'm just, if you're going to be sending out your deck cold to people, this is what they're going to say. All right, Creatus AI, turn words into action. Who we are, let's zoom this in a little bit more for the people. Creatus is pioneering AI text to video platform, transforming the way content is created, simplify creation of engaging social media content. I guess turn text into social media content. Um, yeah, I agree. Like creating content, it's hard, takes time. Okay. Creatus is an AI-powered editor and management platform for dynamic social media content. So, okay, say, hi, I want a video that tells how awesome my services are and all my happy customers. Add a couple pictures, and it, I guess, creates a video. This is pretty useless slide. Like, I know people like, yeah, keep it simple. This might be too simple. I guess you have more speed, creativity, and quality. I don't know what quality, how you define quality, but we'll hopefully see. This is let's see here, create post. Okay, so like typical ad management type platform avatars. So I guess it's like the kind of AI generated avatars. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of those. There's a ton of companies doing that right now. They all, it's going to be very competitive. So you really have to tell me what your mode is at this point. Yeah, definitely agree. Now is the right time for something like this, but is everyone going to love having a bunch of fake avatars telling them how good a service is? Because again, it's at the end of the day, it's going to be the quality of the content of your users and how they think, and they're not all marketing geniuses. So it's going to degrade the quality out the output. But if you're getting paid, you get paid. 30 million sold. To capture a percentage of whatever market always kind of bothers me. So I just, don't think this is a well articulated market potential. How much you're charging, how many users are there actually? I guess this is what people are spending money on for video editing software. So I guess, there's a lot of money there, but who is spending that money? Where is it chopped up and so on? So it's not terrible, but I'm not in love with it. I'm already kind of discouraged. So it's simple, affordable, and advanced. That's why you're different. Small, medium enterprises. So not really even SMBs. You're going after, so I guess small businesses, but we're not just another solution. We're the better choice. So you guys are here on price and quality. So lower price. So there's people priced lower than you that have, I guess, lower quality, but you have the highest quality and a mid price. Okay, that's I guess helpful. It's again not like a real moat or differentiator, and I haven't seen enough of the product. And frankly, it's like if I'm betting in this market, I believe in the creator, future, what's it called, the creator economy. And I've seen a couple of these deals, and I'm interested in this particular market. I would probably have a meeting with you guys to give you guys, to give yourself a chance to present, to see what's the secret sauce. What have you guys done that's different? This price looks very unsexy from like I could see it from you want to get customers, but from a scalability standpoint, you're gonna have to get hundreds of thousands of users to make this venture scale, not a small business. So something to kind of keep in mind. I don't know if this is your followers, your clients' followers, whose followers. Also, like, give me an example of the content. Like, that you brag about how the quality is. Give me something to click and watch. Like, there's nothing in this deck to click and watch. Like, so it concerns me that maybe your quality isn't that great. You're just hoping that your quality be better down the road. 500K on 8 million with no traction. This is not traction, guys. 10,000 users. What's a user? Is that a sign up? Is that an email on a waiting list? So it's very, you went the simple route with the deck, which is better than some of the other decks we did, but you don't give me any like real substance to kind of make a decision here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll put you again. There's a lot of attention in the AI space. Anything in AI is getting kind of meaning. So albeit I wouldn't be particularly interested in this. I can see it kind of getting like a picking some interest. So maybe like a 2, like a 3, but not a slam dunk by any means, and you need to give me more meat and credibility and examples of your work. And And if those are not good examples and that's quality of work, then that's probably why you don't have them. Moving on. Fraudection. I guess it has something to do with fraud. Problem, identity. Okay, so identity theft's a problem. Chargeback disputes are a problem, and there's false positive. Yes, I've dealt with this. I know what this is about. Do I have to watch a video? Dude, lost me. I will give you a couple seconds on this. Okay. Something you know, something you are. Okay. That's identity. Do not like this at all. Okay, so this is, I guess, for Latin focused markets, maybe LATAM. Do we have an agreement with Prosa? Okay, no, I'm done. I'm sorry. You lost me. I will never watch this. Like, the fact that you put this in video format immediately kills it. I don't even want to give it a shot. It's so frustrating. I can't do this for the presentation. Do not send a slide deck with animations. Like, I know Canva's cool, makes design easy, clearly a DIY solution. No harp on Canva, but put yourself in the investor's shoes. We see thousands of decks a year. We don't have enough time to go through and follow the process that you hope us to do. Like, if you have something really unique and you have a great way to show it to people that are busy, see a million of the same thing, and are constantly going through PDFs and like slide decks, format it for us to be able to go through quickly and get the meat that we need to see to be able to decide if we're going to take a meeting with you. Don't make me work harder than I need to. So this one goes straight to zero. Could have been a great business. I don't even want to know. So that's how bad it is. All right, moving on. Geoship. Our purpose is to create tools for human communities to live in harmony with the earth. Yeah, it's a little, kind of loose, kind of like maybe too big picture, kind of some, no offense, but like hippie vibes. Nothing wrong with that, but just, kind of where I'm going. But I'm kind of like, as I saw on the table, so on the dome, whatever. So, but we'll move on. Our shot is to make the best home on Earth. Okay, clever. Not a moon shot, Earth shot. I get that. So focus on making the Earth better. Nothing wrong with that. The most affordable home on Earth. Okay, so tell me how you're going to make the most affordable home on Earth. Okay, home construction. This is interesting. Basically saying that we're producing less homes, they're getting more expensive, and becoming less affordable. So yeah, this is a common problem. I think everyone knows this, but good data to back it up. And how they're calling out the fact that every other industry is getting better, faster, cheaper, but home construction is not. Clever. The geodesic dome, world's most efficient. Oh, okay, so these are the houses or domes. Look kind of cool. Lots of natural light. Okay, so big bold promise here. Quote from what I imagine to be a credible Institute of Architects. Okay, very cool. That's a nice little bullet there. So it's a ceramic composite or bioceramic composite. So, okay, this looks like there's some intense manufacturing and or production that's going to be required. So this looks like it's going to be a large CapEx requirement. So this obviously eliminates a lot of investors, but nothing wrong with that. You only want to be talking to the people that can actually write you checks, so totally fine. So it's proprietary, so it looks like there's going to be some IP, some technology play here, and manufacturing processes. Pursuing vertical integration, so they get raw materials and they do everything themselves. So, albeit could be nice, but also very difficult to scale. So, just something to kind of, VCs are going to be like, all right, show me the proof. Show me you guys are capable. Show me you guys are, ready to dial this in. Optimize from physics first principles. We maximize efficiency at all three levels. Materials. Okay, nothing too special. Okay, so they're calling wood box. Okay, yeah, I like the, putting down of traditional construction, but basically the equivalent of like an average home, how it compares. So less surface area. I'm not sure how that values in terms of like the eco-friendliness, but I'm sure there's some kind of value there. 10x lighter, that's impressive. Faster to build, that's exciting, and the price. So like these are all very good things to see, but I'm going to be like, how are you going to prove this? Like, is this all just like you built the sample and this is all your data on that? Like, how is this modeled out? But I am intrigued. I'd probably take a meeting to learn more already at this point before diving further. It's a monster market. I'd also be concerned about distribution. How are they going to, like, where will these be built? Who can build them? Where can they be built? Like from an HOA perspective, they're going to build out their own neighborhoods and be their own developer, or are they just going to sell it to Airbnb people? But I have a lot of questions, but these are good, productive questions, and it looks beautiful. Like, I would stay in a home like this. I don't know if I'd be permanently living in it, but I would definitely want to stay in it as like a hotel or like a short-term rental experience for sure. It looks cool, but okay, so we see all the different sizes and product outlines. So very detailed outlines, really giving me the visual and the perspective. They're combinable. That's all cool. Cost per foot is really low, like stupid low. That's amazing if that's all true. I would just, again, I have to assume that this is all accurate, but I'm skeptical. Raising a pre-seed. So 1.5 million is relatively little. So that means that a lot of this is probably theoretical, but it looks like they built one and they have some like kind of theoretical concept already, which is exciting. And pre-sold 40 million. All right. Well, I would be curious what the deposits were on those. Were they $1 or were they $10,000? But exciting nonetheless. Gross margins are phenomenal if that's true, but that shows that there's probably a lot of play. So if their numbers are a little off, there's still an attractive business model potentially. Yeah, market's going to be huge, obviously. All right, the deck's getting a little long for me, but for this type of thing, I'm not surprised. All right, so former engineer, product designer, design builder. Okay, so like some relative background. I don't know why that guy is blurred out. Maybe they can't disclose who he is. And wow, weird enough, I actually know who this person is. Long story short, he hired me as an intern many, many years ago. So that's kind of interesting seeing full circle. Advisory, that's way too many to look at. Kind of concerning that there's that many advisors. So I don't know what that really means, if that's any value. Wait. Oh, they raised. Oh, did they? Oh, they raised to 1.4. Ah, okay. So they're actually raising 8. That makes more sense. Sorry, I misread that. I'm just going through this too fast. And here's what they. All right, so they're going to build a couple prototypes. So it's basically like how much did the money get them? And it looks like they're doing tranches, which not unusual for this level of capex and risk involved, but really just going to be down like what. Okay, I like this deck. I'm going to give it a 4 or 5. I think there's potential with this company. It's just going to be a hard sell getting it over the finish line when it comes to, the right type of investor that's going to have the large amount of capital reserves to see this through. So this is going to be raising a ton of capital to hit any kind of scale. We've seen Boxable, which is a similar model. They raised a bunch of money. They struggled a lot to do it, but now they've finally got to production. So they kind of mentioned this competitor. So I like this. These guys seem like they have their shit together. I was really jamming through the deck. I think this is a great deck. This is the best one of the day so far. Job well done. It's really going to come down. Like, this can get in front of VCs and get meetings, and assuming that VCs are comfortable with this, type of capex investment. But they're very, very much are out there. So great job. Moving on. Future of construction, ProGroup, Pro Improver, Pro Look. Okay, a lot of pros. Don't know what any of that means. So, but future construction, great. It's a large market. Okay, construction. Is this software? Is this Pro Improver, Pro Look? So, are you telling me what the product is right now? Are you telling me what the sales cycle is? Goal is lead, appointment, demo, sale. So I guess this is a software for a construction company. Okay. It's a lot to read here, but I'm going with this is a software to make it easier for homeowners and construction companies. You do not have to explain verbatim all of this. Like, this doesn't really tell me much of anything. Up here. Make a sale. So yeah, it's basically like a CRM for construction in a marketplace. I do agree finding contractor sucks because they never show up and they, some home buyers are underqualified or whatever. Giant paragraph of text you do not want to read. Let's see. It's more than 300 interested. Okay, so you already have 300 interested construction companies and 10,000 installation companies on the platform. So that's interesting. I'd probably maybe pull that out a little bit more and kind of be like, we have users. And let's see about ProLook. ProLook is okay. So you got two software solutions. That's what's going on here. So one's like I guess a CRM and one's like a kind of CAD solution. Alpha stage, so yeah, I guess 3D renderings and stuff like that. I guess it's just a lot. I would, I guess you're going to start with one and then move to the other, and you're trying to demonstrate how awesome you guys are going to be. But it's a lot for me to process and look at. Target investments 2 million. Is that how much you're raising? That's don't know. Monetization product percentage of sales. That's how you make money, and then time. Return on investment. I guess you guys are raising 2 million for ProLook, and return on investment's 2.5 years. But like that just leaves so many unnecessary questions that I should not be asking at this stage. Marketing strategy, meaningless marketing strategy, meaningless. Like saying you're gonna do social media marketing is worthless. Like yeah, sure, but like you're gonna do all of this all at once, and you're gonna be massively successful at all of it. That's not. That's not helpful in my opinion, from a VC perspective. All right, so here's your traction or your roadmap. You have an alpha ProLook, and you've developed a beta for Pro Improver. Tracking. So basically, one's a project management tool and one's like a lead gen tool, CRM. It's cute with like little anime stuff, but like in the world of fraud from crypto and all that stuff, like show us who you really are. Give us your full names. Give us your LinkedIns. I do not want to try to figure out who I'm going to be talking to. I want to know who I'm talking to. This is like a deal killer. It just shows me either one, you're being cute when it's not appropriate, or inappropriate being like, we're going to be building a relationship. If I'm going to write you a check, I better know who you are. I'm going to be with you for the next 5-10 years. Like, give me something to like do a quick check on you. Like, let me see who you are, what you've worked, what you've done. But I will say, like, okay, giving you some credibility points here is helpful, but like, let me see who you are. Like, I don't know why you're hiding your identity. It's a really bad signal. Not like a dead deal thing, but all right. So my advice on this deck is stay in one lane. This Pro Improver and ProLook solution. Also, I don't know how much you're raising or what capital raise you're having, so I imagine it's probably pre-seed or seed. Being that there's no revenue references or traction references of any kind. It just looks like way too much to be taking on an early stage company when you don't have adoption of one and you're building something else. It just shows the team doesn't understand how difficult it's going to be to run essentially two different businesses. I know you strategically and theoretically it all sounds great in your head, but when it comes to a VC seeing thousands of deals and the ones that always win are incredibly good at one thing and do that one thing better than anyone else, get all the customers for that one thing, and now they have all the customers and they can upsell other things. And they'll buy companies like this for pennies on the dollar for tech and talent to go and add on those things. So just, keep that perspective in mind. I didn't think it was awful. I think it was better than some. I was like somewhat intrigued going through, so I give it like a 3, but not a home run. All right. Refresh. Well, how does this one start there? That was weird. Okay. Home of Dog Friendly. Okay. The creator of the Roch standard, founder of 6 years. Okay, so founded some companies, but hey, you have your full names and a LinkedIn. Great. I can dive in a little bit more and see if you guys are actually credible. That's perfect. Okay, senior engineers. We got tech talent. Great. I'm excited. All right. That's honestly, haven't seen a lot of this. So that's a good sign. Advisory board again. I just don't really care because I don't know what their actual involvement is and what makes them special. Like if it's like a mega CEO or like a big brand name person, yeah, drop their name. But like if it's just like someone that's really good at their job in whatever market, it's not going to move the needle. So it's just a waste of a slide. You do not need your intern. Delete this slide. No one cares about your interns. Because you have a bunch of interns, it sounds like you have a distraction on your hands. So just, everyone loves dogs. Not hard to convince talent to join you and work on dogs. So just, delete that slide. I don't even know what you guys do yet. So, okay. Okay, now we're talking to the actual stuff that matters. Okay, so a couple slides wasted there. Say to their dog. Okay, yeah, people love dogs. Got it. So dog friendly. Unfair restrictions and charges and unmet expectations. This person that's had dogs, I don't like. Struggle to adopt best practices. Sure. Probably had the problem key there first, so I don't have to click to it. So okay, problem for owners, problem for business owners. Sure. There's another key note. Universal dog friendly standard. Yeah, just like this doesn't sound like a crushing pain. A free to use goal directive dog friendly businesses. Okay, dog friendly businesses. I'm pretty sure on Yelp and other places they have like a checkbox. I know Airbnb has it for like staying at Airbnbs. Wow, so that's not a lot of money at all to be certified. So you're gonna go and chase all these businesses for $50. Doesn't sound like a good use of time. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work to make hardly any money. I don't know how much. Was it the hotels are paying? Yeah, it's B2B. What are the customers paying, if anything? You're gonna send them customers, I guess, and somehow you're gonna make $20 million. I don't believe you. I don't believe you're gonna sign up 662,000 businesses to do this. So your max revenue, 100% of the market in all of the United States, I guess, is $20 million. You will not raise venture capital. You might have a small business that, makes a few bucks. I'm sorry, that's a total asshole thing to say, but that's just kind of how I'm telling you right now. You can take it or leave it. You can prove me wrong. You can increase your pricing, whatever you want, but this will not get past any VCs. You're not making enough money. You're not adding enough value, differentiated value, getting millions of people to adopt you, and you're going to spend a lot more money getting customers than you are going to be making money. And you want to raise $2 million, and you think you're going to get 100,000 subscribers with $2 million. Like, you must have the most viral solution of all time that everyone must have with that kind of growth. Didn't see what the AI aspect was. Where do you have AI in this? What are you going to do? What AI problem is this solving? AI powered revenue model. No idea. I'm lost. This is not a great opportunity. I would just be like, okay, Yelp has a restaurant is friendly checkbox, like, or Google or anything else. Like, this is not a problem that everyone needs solved immediately with this solution. So sorry, this is like a 1 in my opinion. I did understand it. I feel maybe founder thinks otherwise, but at least I was able to understand what you're trying to do. I just don't think it's investable under any circumstances. All right, I gotta wrap it. Not gonna make that last one. I do have a question. As far as formatting is concerned, would you rather the deck be in a PDF format or built into an interactive web page? I feel like these get really stale as PDFs, but like, look, if you want to get, this is a question from LinkedIn. If you want to get creative and you want to show a way to do something very differently, and that could be unique. I've seen some attempts at this, and it gives, when done right. Again, you have to put your shoes not in, I want to make this super cool and unique. No, you have to think, all right, I want to send this to 200 VCs, and I want to get a meeting with them. Okay, let me put myself in the shoes of a VC. What do they need? They need it quick, they need it easy and digestible, and sure, breaking up the usual skimming through PDFs like I just did, could be a pleasant surprise, assuming that I clearly understand your business, what makes you special, what makes you unique, and where it really would only be of value, in my opinion, is if you're applying either your technology or execution skills into the unique experience that you're generating. So if you have like a phenomenal design team and engineering team that's incredibly efficient and good at what they do, and you want to build like a custom interactive, deck from a web page perspective, and they are able to execute it flawlessly, like I'm going to look at that as a VC, like these guys know how to build product. Like, all right, like I don't care what they're building. I want to just see this talented team that worst case scenario will get acqui-hired because they're so talented. Like if that's your angle, that's a way. But if you're trying to make like cool little like animations with Canva or something like that, dead on arrival. Like just stick to the core. If you don't have a unique ability that's demonstrated by the unique approach you want to take, then don't go that route. Just stick to the norm. Give me a deck that clearly articulates what you're doing, and that's a great business, and get me excited about the business. Gimmicky models are not always the best. Now, if you want to do a gimmicky way of getting your deck in front of a VC that's outside the norm, we have a podcast coming out. For you guys that don't know, we have a podcast called Fundraising Demystified. Next week's show, the founder actually sent a hand-drawn picture of a unicorn that was drawn by his daughter, and used that as a way to kind of start a conversation with VCs via cold email outreach. I was like, oh, that's cute. It's like, all right, it gives me a little chuckle, a little laugh. Spend a little more time looking at what they have to offer. Assuming it's aligned with my thesis, I might give them a shot just out of the clever, aspect of it. But there's always ways to kind of be cute and unique, but it has to be like relatable to what you're doing or what you're building. So if don't think I have any other questions. Really appreciate everyone coming on. We had a great turnout for today, which is awesome. And the submissions are great. Keep in mind, we do this every single week. Just go to the Luma link in the event description to add your deck. If you had already submitted your deck and you want to resubmit your deck, you're welcome to do so. Just you might have to change your email or submit from a different email. I think Luma doesn't allow you to register twice because it's for the whole series, or just register just for one session that you plan to attend. But we'll keep doing this. It seems to be going well, getting some pretty positive feedback from everyone. And also, just because our podcast is new, I'd love for you guys to go check it out. You can find it on all the major podcast platforms. Again, Fundraising Demystified. We share the true untold stories of founders that have recently raised capital in the recent markets and their strategies to do so and how they overcame the challenges that they were faced with. So I highly encourage you guys to check that out. Again, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. You're always welcome to reach out to me if you have questions. But hopefully I'll see your deck in the next roast.